We will zoom over to Chesterfield County now. Chris Winslow is the Chesterfield Board of Supervisors member representing the Clover District, also the vice chair of the board, and he's with us to talk about the vaccine rollout. How's it looking in Chesterfield? Are you all feel like your numbers are improving and you're getting to most of the seniors and at-risk population?
Good morning, John. Good morning. I don't think it's a secret that the Chesterfield Board of Supervisors was very public in our criticism of the vaccination effort early on. We sent a pretty strongly worded letter to the governor back in January, and it expressed a lot of frustration people were having at that time with registration and getting these vaccines into the arms. But I will tell you, I'm pleased to report that a little over 2 months later or so, we are number one among large jurisdictions in Virginia in getting shots into the arms of eligible citizens.
Well, that's great news. How did that happen? Is that Chesterfield kind of prying this away from the state, or is it a cooperative effort? Or
I think it is. It's been a multifaceted approach. First it started with our IT department working hand in hand with the Virginia Department of Health on registrations. And I think we had a pretty good outreach effort. You have to credit fire and EMS. They've been running a pod down at the fairgrounds this whole time and delivering vaccines as well to those who are home and bedbound. We've been, engaging in a lot of outreach, getting child care providers and nurses at schools to deliver to school populations, the pharmacies, the doctors, and the hospitals. Really, it's been a collective effort now. And then we stacked the Virginia State University pod on top of that, and now that's providing doses to 2,800 or so citizens daily. And of course, you don't forget the volunteers in the Medical Reserve Corps who've come out. These are nurses. A lot of them have that sort of training, and so they've been out there. And it's just been a total 360-degree journey of tenacity, and I haven't been more proud of our county pulling together when we needed it most.
So looking out here from the end of March into the summer, when do you think you hit that critical mass? There's no way to segregate people in Chesterfield, but when do you think Chesterfield will reach that critical mass where most people who need this or want this will have had access to it?
So that's a good question, and it goes to how do you define, critical mass? And I think what we're hearing from CDC is, 70% is indicative of a herd immunity, and we have in Chesterfield a 75% goal. We're at 46% already, so we believe we'll hit that 75%, which is about 190,000 people on or around the 5th of May right now, if things continue to go the right direction. And so, really, one of the things that we're experiencing, what I'm hearing from some folks is, I'm not sure I should register yet because there's still a lot of people that should be ahead of me. And what we're trying to encourage people doing who want the vaccine is to say, hey, go ahead and register. Don't wait to register. If you're in 1C or category that's, even beyond that hasn't been defined, just please go ahead and register at the vaccinate.virginia.gov website and get on the list, because that way we can churn through it. Every day there are some missed appointments for various reasons, and so we have a backup list at these sites, and then we're going through those lists and making sure we don't waste any of these doses.
Yeah. I hate to bring up something negative, but it's always you celebrate the achievement of a goal, and then what's the next problem that's headed your direction? And I keep seeing these stories about pushing off the date where everybody would return to normal. And I can imagine that, right now it's still relatively new to have the vaccine, and we don't think everybody's gotten it. So people are still willing to, either obey the rules or kind of go along with the rules just to avoid conflict. But I think by the time we get into summer, the attitude, I mean, my attitude's probably going to change. I'll be honest with you. What do we think, or what will the direction be from government in Chesterfield County, such a large county, when it comes to businesses and mask enforcement and what I think is probably likely to be some sort of conflict between people who are desperately wanting everyone else around them to wear a mask, and people like me who are going to say, you know what, I've worn the mask to be polite to you for the last year. I'm just not doing it anymore. What do you think? How do you think that rolls out over the next couple of months?
I think, John, that we're, a little bit early on that effort. I think we're going to be listening to what these orders are from the state. The governor just released another executive order yesterday, which dealt a lot with schools, and so there's some good things there. But I mean, I think you have to tread a path which is, allowing the vaccine information to be out there, giving it to people, telling them how to register, how to get to that place where they can be vaccinated, but at the same time balancing that with individual concerns about it, because you do have to respect individual choices in the marketplace. So we want to be a convener of resources, if you will, and make certain that people at least know where they can get it, and do that responsibly.
Yeah. Well, I think at some point we're going to see that shift where people like me, who have tried to be very nice to other people and respectful of other people's fears, at some point I'm going to tell people right to their face, if you're this terrified, you're the one who needs to stay home now. You got the vaccine, you don't have the vaccine, that's on you. But the rest of us are moving on with life, and I could just envision the problems that are coming, and at some point we'll have to talk through all that. Listen, I'm glad that things are going so well in Chesterfield, and that the seniors who want and need the vaccine have it available to them. That's certainly something to be applauded there. Chris Winslow, the vice chair of the Chesterfield Board of Supervisors, who represents the Clover district. Always appreciate the chance to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you, John.